do is basically, if you're here to watch my fantasy football videos, well, maybe this is not the right time, because basically I want to do this video to show you exactly what I go through when I edit and upload one of my videos. So yeah, let's get stuck straight into it. Basically, I use an editing software called Camtasia. Now, I really like this software. It's really good. Basically, what it lets you do, if I go over to start my recording, for instance, I have the option to record the camera, obviously, and the full screen behind what's going on, basically. So I can record the screen, I can then record the camera, and it then lets me kind of cut everything together in a nice way. And I can also obviously record the audio of me talking, so you can kind of get an idea of what's going on. So basically what I've done already is kind of recorded myself talking about game week 9. For anyone who don't know about fantasy football, well, basically it's split up into different game weeks, and my channel is normally about talking about the game weeks, talking about my team, and hopefully talking about your team as well. If you're a subscriber to this channel, I'll try and feature your team when I can. But this live stream is literally me editing my video in real time. It's live. I will kind of be taking maybe 5-minute breaks to maybe get to any questions that I can see on the live stream. So if I can kind of switch over to that, just to make sure that everything's working, everything's up and running. Okay, good. So no one's online yet, but that's fine because this is being recorded as well, so that's okay. So let's maybe just give it a push in real time, as I said. Yeah, so this is behind the scenes of how to make a video, right? Yeah, fine. So obviously when you're doing this, you maybe want to, this is a live stream that I want to just promote, so maybe don't worry about that. Anyway, right, let's get into it and show you what I do. So basically what I've done already is recorded myself talking about the thing I want to talk about. So this is now a clip that's 8 minutes long, and basically it started out with me kind of just rambling, making sure everything worked. So obviously I need to cut all of this out. So if I just go back to how it looked when I first uploaded it. So this is one long clip of me, you'll see making faces or whatever, preparing for the video. And then basically where the spike is where that's the audio levels, right? So this is where I start talking. So I know I basically need to cut out all of this rubbish because I don't need it. So what I can do is just kind of zoom in, get the playhead right at the start of when I'm going to talk. So I can actually, well, when I'm playing this, I don't think you'll be able to hear it, but it's just I can. So I know, yeah, where to cut this basically, and it's simply a case of right clicking, split, and then I can just delete this out. So then now the video will start with me just introducing myself and introducing what I want to talk about in the video. So there I got a nice, well, maybe not so nice, but I've got a decent enough cut. So I want to cut this out as well. And then this clip is now going to be my intro. One thing I've not done actually, which I should have, if I just undo that, is to reposition this. So once you've done the recording, basically this will come up in a small screen. So what I need to do is just make this a little bit bigger, put me up front and center, which is fine, and then split this, and then I just want to leave a gap because I do have a kind of standard intro that I do on most videos, a little clip of me acting a bit stupid. I've actually saved that on another Camtasia file, so hopefully if I can find that, if I can do this kind of smoothly, then that might be nice. But basically it's like there's a few clips that basically make up my kind of intro. So this is an old video that I put together, and what I need. So some of you, again, if you've been a subscriber to this channel, you might recognize some of this. This, for instance, basically it's cobbled together, like I say, of a few different clips or a few different things here on the Camtasia software. What I can do is just basically select all of these. I should actually have this on a separate file, but yeah. Anyway, this is kind of the long route. if I can actually just get this, click this right, oh god. Okay, so there's still a few bits here that I should really have on a standalone file. But anyway, I just need to make some room so I can then upload or add in, paste in that intro. So this is something that then it goes from me talking about something, and then the intro is there. Yeah, so it does sound stupid in my head. Well, yeah, people who are used to the channel will know this. But basically what I want to then do is fade me back in. So instead of just having a kind of jump cut between me and this last kind of title screen, I want to just blend that in. And then instead of it looking like this, which looks a bit rubbish, I want to put me underneath the kind of the logo. So like this. And I also want me to blend in. So that. Okay, so I know from the audio, again, you probably can't hear it, but what I want to do is basically rip that clip out. Okay, so that looks fine. So as I say, I wanted to do is to then play around with the transitions and just then fade that clip in. So already that looks a lot better. So instead of having that kind of jerky motion, it just kind of blends in. And that's pretty simple to do. So yeah, I've got my kind of intro there coming in, and then me talking. So yeah, I don't think you can hear what I'm talking about in the video, but I am listening. So yeah, but you will get to this video when it is live. Okay, so what I've done, basically in this video, I do kind of try to promote that I am active on Twitter. So that I say, if you want to tweet me, then you can at JoeRyan365. Basically, that's around here in the video, this portion. So what I should probably do is maybe just put that up as text. And what I can do there is just using this annotation tool, just basically drag it in, and then just type in my handle, like so. And then I can just drag and drop and position this how I want to, which is pretty nice. And already it adds a drop shadow, which I don't particularly like. So that looks a little bit better now, a bit cleaner. And I can also then edit the settings of this text. So if I want it to be just a nicer font or whatever, then I can do that. So I do have the Premier League font available. Anyway, I normally go with Helvetica. Actually, it's quite a nice one. It's kind of like Apple style. There you go, that looks a bit more slick. I can even have it on this side if I want. Yeah, I don't know, that looks alright to me, this side. And I can just resize it simply enough. And just have that up. And again, at the moment now, there's no kind of transitions on this. So if I were to play it through, then basically it just jumps up and goes. So that doesn't look that good to me anyway, which is why I then want to put some transitions on. So there you go, that's nicely timed, and it just fades in fairly nicely. And right, so here as well, I don't know if anyone has tried making videos before, but if you kind of do a video where you pause a lot, so this is what I'm doing on the live stream, you pause when you're speaking, it's not actually that good to watch. So basically what I want to do is get rid of these empty spaces of sound. So there you see me actually kind of say something and then think about it and then carry on the sentence. So what I can do is basically cut that silence out. Yeah, so what I do there, basically just put the marker at the end of the sound, split, and get back to where I then start talking again, split that, and then just delete that one out. So then it just jumps. Yeah. There you go, it jumps a little bit. Right, and now with this part of the video, I've gotten to the part where basically I've asked people to tweet me their game week reviews, and already I kind of talk about those in this section of the video. So what I've also done is uploaded the different screenshots of the tweets that I wanted to add in. And so the first one up was FPL Tipster. So what I'm going to do is drag this screenshot on and put it just in the middle, I think, to start with. And what I can also do, I think, is, well, I can maybe have it just at the bottom. That might be better. So you can still see me, just so it doesn't look like I'm, where does that fit best? Maybe even down here somewhere. So really, it's just, I kind of just look at something and see what looks best. There's no kind of set structure right now in terms of the styling, where screenshots like this should go. I mean, maybe that's even a bit too small, so you can't read it. I'll tell you what I'll do. I'll make that tweet stand out even more and get rid of my face so I'm not in there. So what I can do, so I just need to get rid of some of the breaks in the audio again. So okay, so there's some messed up audio there. So again, just split that out, delete it. So I get to the end of a point. And then this is what I'm talking about. So now this clip here matches the same length as the screenshot. And what I can also do then is basically strip out the video of me and just leave the audio. So that's just using the separate video and audio option. So this is the audio I want to keep and basically just get rid of me there. And I can just make that a nice transition by fading out here and fading back in with the picture there. So basically how this will then look, fades out, and I can then extend this as well, so this fades in a bit better. So yeah, and then make that fade in and out again, and I can make this a bit bigger, maybe make it stand out a bit more. So there we go. So that might be a bit clearer, at least again, giving you a push FPL tipster. Maybe in this case, actually, because I haven't got a background, then it might actually be nice to add in that drop shadow effect, which I deleted earlier. So there you go, that looks all right. Yeah, so I'm just play that. So he comes in, the tweet comes in, people can read it, and then it fades back to me, which is, yeah, fine. I think that looks all right. So that's kind of the structure of that. Yeah, so let's just carry on basically. So now I've got this, I've done this, I think this kind of works for that tweet. I've got a few more tweets I wanted to then highlight, so that I can then basically just do the same thing again, but for the other people. So yeah, I'm teasing about my team there in that bit, so I might even just take that bit out because, yeah, that's not that interesting. And also here, when it's when I speak, I normally put in a bit of a or so, because I'm trying to think about what to say next, and that is usually defined quite nicely with a big spike in the audio, something that's, yeah, quite interesting. It quite makes it quite easy actually for me to spot when I'm going to actually talk kind of at a normal pitch or whatever, a normal volume, and then when I do have a spike, it's when I've kind of, yeah, said something out of place basically. Okay, so that's the next tweet I'm talking about in that section. So again, I can then bring in his. I might, because this is just a smaller one, it didn't include a screenshot. I think I could, and I think there's quite quick succession actually between this tweet and then the next one. So I'm thinking this one can come up. So yeah, this makes sense. Sorry again, you can't hear the audio of what I'm listening to, but it does make sense, hopefully, when you hear the end product. So yeah, then Aaron's tweet comes in as well here. So basically, yeah, so the length of this is basically corresponds to how long it's going to show up on the screen. So you'll notice there when I'm scrolling through, Aaron's tweet, which is this one, will then stay up until I pass it, basically. It's pretty simple. So yeah, just listening through to that. Okay, so that sounds pretty good. So this one can stay up for longer. And now I'm making a point about Sturridge being injured, which you can see if I zoom in. Maybe that was a bit close to my face. But yeah, this is maybe looking a bit small, so I want to make it a bit bigger. There you go. Nicely enough with this software, it actually kind of snaps into place to match up with anything else on the screen. So that's pretty handy, especially for me. Yeah, that kind of sounds alright to me. Alright, so I'm making a point here about Aguero as well, how people swapped Sturridge for Aguero, while I'm kind of going a bit on a tangent. Yeah, so I want to get rid of some of this audio as well. It's a little bit messed up, and yeah. Okay, so I need to find a bit where it sounds coherent at least. Okay, so that's where I say the end of the point. Again, I can split that. So I'm going off on a tangent. Yeah, no, this is all rubbish basically. I want to cut rid of all this. Yeah, rubbish. So I'm big another Okay, so this one is where I'm getting to the next relevant bit of talk. Again, I need to delete all that out, and then I'll get the audio where I wanted. Yeah, so this is then talking about Simon's tweet. So then this one might have to just stand alone by itself because it's got a nice screenshot attached as well. So I might just do that as well. Similar to what I did before with the FPL tipster, I can do the same with Simon's. So again, just make this stand out nice and big. Maybe that means these two can be emphasized a little bit more, maybe. If that looks alright. But yeah. Let's see. Maybe even have that this side and this one maybe a bit bigger on this side. So yeah, there's lots of that you can do with this, just playing around with it. I guess some of you might be realise that I'm not kind of a graphic designer, but I just kind of do these videos just to kind of get my point across sometimes, and this is normally the best way to do it. So just trial and error, basically, see what works. But I don't know if you're a kind of video creator and you have a set style that you want to carry on through every video, then obviously then you need to think about that kind of thing. But for me, then, okay, so that looks a bit lame if I do it that side, maybe. Up there. So yeah, like I say, trial and error with YouTube is fine if you kind of don't have a professional setup as such. So yeah, let's swap these over because the left one comes first. Anyway. So there's a few things I've messed around with to get these hopefully as engaging as possible. But anyway, so right, what we're going to do now then is do the same thing we did before with cutting out this tweet and making it kind of stand out a little bit more. So let me just try and get the audio right. So yeah, I need to go back a little bit. It's fine. So there again, there's a long pause, so I need to get that out. So there I'm kind of struggling to how to say the guy who scored 25 points for Newcastle, Wijnaldum, is it? I don't know. All right, let me just take a quick break to see. Okay, cool, I've got people online, awesome. Anyway, I'll get to the kind of, like I say, I'll get to a break and then I'll kind of maybe check into the chat and see what's going on. Maybe if you've got any questions even, or got any suggestions of what I could do better, or what kind of thing you'd want to see, then yeah, let me know. That'd be cool. So yeah, let's see. Anyway, all I wanted to do is basically, because this for me looks a bit lame if I just stick that up like that, I wanted to, again, for me to fade out and then this tweet to stand alone on its own. So I just need to get the audio right. Okay, so there. Yeah, that's fine. I want to split there. Maybe just make this a bit longer. Yeah, cool. So this one, again, I can split there. Again, then separate the audio and video. So I've just got the audio playing, get me out, which is pretty good, right? And then fade in and out, and fade in and out on this one. So maybe that means I just need to shorten these as well, which is fine. Let's extend this. And again, put that drop shadow effect on it, just so it looks a little bit nicer. And that is centered as well, which is good. There you go. I'll tell you what, because this is on the screen for a bit longer, then I might as well add in another effect just to make it look even a little bit more interesting. And zoom in on the man of the moment who he's talking about, Wijnaldum. Oh, man, this is going to be annoying if I keep mispronouncing that name. But anyway, what I've done there is just add in the zoom effect. And basically, however long the arrow is how slow or quick that effect is. So you'll see when I scroll through, that kind of zooms in. So yeah, so this is it in real time. So maybe that's a bit slow actually. And maybe it's not focusing on that player. But I think that's all right. That's fine. It kind of gets the point across. So anyway. So yeah, I'm still talking about summing up the game week, I guess. So there's some, again, gaps. Yeah, so, okay, so this talk, which you already listened to. Yeah, so again, I just need to split this out, because this I don't like. There's still nothing relevant here. Nope. So yeah, so finally I've got to a point that logically makes sense if I cut all this out. Okay, so here I've talked about something, oh god, that face. But anyway, I've talked about something that did catch my eye actually, is that a few people managed to have Wijnaldum. I'm going to stick with that, Wijnaldum. Some people had him as triple captain, so I've not actually got any screenshots of that. I maybe should have prepared a little bit better. But what I'm going to do is go over to the handy Twitter and get on that. So Wijnaldum triple captain. So yeah, fair play if you're one of them, then that's pretty awesome. So what I'll do, perfect. I'll borrow Fantasy Footy Updates tweet. I know this is another YouTube, or they're active on YouTube, and I helped, or yeah, I've spoken to a few guys from this. I think they'll. So again, a few breaks in sound, a bit of waffle. So again, I can just split that. So that's not that great. Okay. Cool, so that's there. And now I guess I need to do that same effect again with this screenshot because yeah, it looked alright before. So I do actually go from there. So here, separate that, delete that one, fade out me, fade me back in, like that. Have this with a nice drop shadow and then the zoom as well. Make it a little bit more interesting and yeah, see that in real time. Alright, so the zoom isn't working that well. What I do is basically go to the end like there, and basically this is where the zoom will get to, and this is where the zoom starts from. So there's not much bigger difference there. Maybe make this smaller so the effect actually stands out a bit more. So there you go, then it zooms to that maximum amount we set on this side, which is pretty good. I'm just going to center it. Alright, so I'm still So now I'm getting to the last tweet that I wanted to highlight, basically talking about summing up the game week. And I don't know if Nevi, if you're watching this while your tweet is going centre stage, I might even just slap you on top of me. There you go. I'll put you down here actually, just to kind of mix things up a little bit compared to what I did before. I'll even give you a shout out. Basically, I need to get this timed. So I'm talking about here a tweet that sums up the game week. There is when I kind of finish talking about this tweet. So what I can do is then drag that to be slower, or quicker, sorry. So there's not as much time for that tweet to be shown on the timeline. And again, maybe that drop shadow effect actually does work on this. Let's see. So that looks actually a little bit better because now, yeah, it stands out against that white background. Tell you what, I could even use that same effect when I go back to these two, actually. So yeah, I could just have that down here because now I know that that looks alright. And oh, okay, I might need to go grab my charger in a second. Oh, that's something else. Put that on there. And then if I have Aaron's tweet then come up in the same sort of place, like that, and again put that shadow effect on it as well, and then I just need to listen back. So that looks alright, that cut there, but then basically what I'm missing is an effect that just to make these kind of fade in and out. So that might then look a little bit nicer. Yeah, so that fits. Alright, so that maybe not dead in line, but what you can also do, which is quite nice with this software, if you have this selected and you move the timeline, it kind of gives you like a ghost almost, so you can then use that to line up things a lot easier. So I can then kind of resize this, and it also then snaps to the thing that's here. Maybe that's not the best way to explain it, but then you'll see that that just fits a lot better. I mean, I could even go as far as cropping that a little bit, just using the crop tool and just kind of filter in. But I mean, that is getting kind of nitty gritty. You don't need to go into that. I don't think you need to go into that much depth. I don't do that normally. It was just an example. So okay, that's pretty even now. And I can then center both of them. There you go. Cool. So yeah, I'm gonna tell you what, I'm gonna take a little break because I need to go and get my charger, but I'll be back in a second. And I hope you're kind of enjoying this look at what I go through to make my videos. Alright, I'm back, got some juice, so happy days. Let me just see if anyone's actually on the live chat. Okay, cool. So Tom, I looks like you're the only one at the moment, which is fine. I guess this is more just to show people, I guess people are interested, maybe not. Alright, couldn't hear or see anything. Right, okay. Anyway, let me just give this another push to try and get people on board. Just to say that I'm live. I don't know. Come and spy on me editing my videos. That might be something to tweet. Whatever. Anyway, I want people to kind of come and join this just because it's fun for me anyway, just to show you kind of what I'm up to. and hopefully you kind of get to see what goes on when actually creating a video. And basically this video will be live hopefully after this live stream, so because I'm doing it in real time. So anyway, where did I get to? Right. So this tweet was summing up the game week. Okay, so I'm getting to the point where I want to talk about my team. Okay, so that's a kind of valid cutoff point. Yeah, kind of waffle. Another big gap, so I'm not going to keep that. Yeah, okay, so that is a valid cut point. Delete that. Cool. Right, so now I'm going to get into the point where I want to stick me basically up in the corner. Maybe. Okay, so still a few bits to talk there. Right, so there as well, then getting into my team, so let's get rid of this bit as well. And right now, basically what I'm going to do, again, if you've seen my videos before, what I normally do is stick my face up in the corner, and basically what this software, Camtasia, lets you do, resize things. So it's gone from there to there. So I guess this is a pretty common style that people would have seen on YouTube before, and if you didn't know how to do it, well, there you go, now you do. You just need this software. It's really simple. And what I also want to do is maybe make this a little bit smoother, so there's actually a transition kind of between from the large one to the small screen. And what I just need to do there is stitch those together, and handily enough, it makes it kind of animate like that, which is quite nice. And what do I need to do? I just need to add in my team. So there you go, I've got my screenshot there for what I'm going to be talking about for this section of the video. And I've also got something else that just supports what I'm talking about maybe a little bit. I've got the results from the game week as well, so I'll try and stick that in as a screenshot. And normally it kind of sits underneath, or what I want to do. So yeah, I do need to drag that under. Because basically anything on top, so that looks a lot better now, so that basically the video sits on top of the screenshots. And that's how it looks in real time. Yeah, so that makes sense. Now what I need to do then is extend these screenshots to be as long as the rest of the clip, because I'm going to basically be talking about my team and the fixtures, and I want the screenshots to be present the whole time. And I also want to do some other things like zoom in on players and stuff. I will show that in a second. So let me just carry on listening. So that looks all right. Yeah. So actually now I'm talking about individual elements of this. So what I want to do is actually then zoom in just to make it a little bit more, yeah, just a little bit better than just seeing this static screenshot. So what I want to do, so I say here I did play my triple captain, so that means I want to zoom into this part here. So what I want to do then is, all right, there's a couple of ways to do it with this tool. Again, I can use the zoom in thing where I just kind of then zoom, and then anything after this is basically where it's going to zoom in to, if that makes sense. So what I do is zoom, again, zoom. Basically I zoom out a lot, so I can see, basically this is the area where the video is going to show, if that again makes sense. So it's not going to show this whole screenshot, it's just going to show this portion of it in the video. And again, it's kind of then going to zoom in. So the only concern I have is actually that this kind of sits behind. That doesn't look as good to me as it probably could, because it then, yeah, it looks like what it is, and the fact that I've kind of cobbled this together. So I could I could fix that with sticking a white box kind of there, actually behind this one and on top of this one. So yeah, now I've thought about it, I think I might just do that actually. So what I'm going to do, stick the white box in somewhere like this, take that drop shadow effect off it because you don't need that, and stick that below, make that longer, stick it below the fixture or the results. So now when I zoom in, that looks a little bit better. So if you see what I mean there, so I haven't got, yeah, that does look better to me. And I can just then stand that out as well. Okay. So here as well, I talk about something like my triple captain did all right. So I say I played my triple captain chip. So I've got to this point, I've zoomed in because of this. So I maybe zoom in on the timeline, you can see that a bit better. So I've zoomed in to that part, but now I talk about the player that I actually made. So what I want to do is then basically zoom into the player, which is down here. So what I need to do is make this a, again using animation, stick in a custom arrow. Because basically what that then lets me do is anything after, if I then move this around, it's basically anything after is where it's going to zoom to and kind of modify the screenshot. So again, I can make this even bigger actually, so that Costa fills up the whole screen. So there, like that. Looks a bit better, right? And I can then zoom in a bit more, because I'm talking about going from there to there. Yeah, so that makes sense. And again, I need to cut out some blank audio. So again, I now, because I'm not particularly talking about Costa, I kind of want to zoom back out. So what I can do is just handily use the zoom out function or the tool. Move that a bit. So now obviously it's gone to the wrong place, but I can just stick it back to where I want it in the middle. So now basically I've done these 3 animations, really quick, really easy. Gone from this screenshot here, play that. I did play my triple captain. It's gone down to Costa. And now it's gone out back to the main team because I'm talking about the overall team rather than just individuals. Yeah. Yeah, so that's fine. So some of the points I'm making, maybe they made sense when I was talking, but they're not that entertaining or educational or useful for this video. So that's why I'm cutting out all this audio. Let's listen back. No, it's not that good. No, still not talking about anything relevant on this section. So actually here, that sounds alright. So I'll split there. Again, cut it down because basically I don't want to waste your time waffling about certain things. I want to actually make a video that's kind of quick and easy to digest, which is very important for YouTube as well. So maybe a bit different to like this with a live stream where you're seeing things in real time. The whole point is to kind of be quick and simple. So all this work I've done, what is it now, nearly an hour of editing, translates to less than 2 minutes of actual YouTube video. So yeah, it's quite interesting. Kind of what it takes to cut things down and make things a little bit more engaging. But yeah, basically I've shown basically everything I do. I don't think I need to waste too much more time with the rest of this video because then because now I'm kind of half thinking about the live stream, half thinking about the edit, so I can't do everything at once. what I'll do is just jump back into the live chat, see if there's any questions actually. Okay, so Tom's got a game in the chat. There's a few comments. Who should I put as captain? Okay, so no questions about the actual. That's fine. No questions about the how I make a video. Fine. But basically, what I'm going to be doing is recording this, and it'll be uploaded as a separate video at some point. So I'm going to go away now, close down this live stream, continue editing this Game Week 9 review, and then upload the results in hopefully less than an hour. Yeah, we'll get to that. But yeah, thanks a lot for sticking around watching this video. I hope you found it useful. If you want to ask me anything in the comments, then please do. And yeah, I'll speak to you soon.